Welcome back to another Cube video. My name is Edward, also known as Strategy, and today we have a pretty sweet pack. We have Tolarian Academy, we have Entomb, Emperor of Bones, if we take the Entomb, would be a hopeful wheel. The One Ring, if we took a Tolarian Academy, would be an amazing wheel, but this card is just not going to wheel. This pack is nowhere near strong enough, and even if this pack was, I still don't think the One Ring would wheel. And vice versa, if I took the One Ring, I don't think the Tolarian Academy is wheeling either. As good as the One Ring is, I do think I should probably stop hovering over Emperor of Bones just in case. But as good as I think the One Ring is, I think that I'd rather play Tolarian Academy. One Ring is way more open, but Tolarian Academy is just really fun to play with. And the One Ring is a card I can play with on Arena normally. I can't play with Tolarian Academy on Arena normally, so I want to take the Tolarian Academy. Having it pack one, pick one is really nice because now I can just build towards it for the rest of the game. Had I took Entomb, I'm probably taking Polluted Delta here. As it sits, I can stay pretty open. Miscalc is nice, so is Mystic Confluence, so is Memory Lapse. Honestly, Vivi's pretty good in Tolarian Academy decks as well. I would be committing to a second color pretty early, though, and Steam Vents is in the same pack, so I'm less likely to want to do that. I'm kind of leaning towards the Mystic Confluence here. Mystic Confluence is just incredibly powerful, and Tolarian Academy is a way we can play it faster than normal. So let's take the Mystic Confluence. We have Gaia's Cradle. I could get incredibly greedy. I think incredibly greedy, and take this Gaia's Cradle, and then what that allows us to do is like a Retrofitter Foundries are just become absolutely insane. The Is It token generators like Saheeli and the Third Path, turn on both of these. I don't know if I quite want to do that. I am aware I'm stacking up a ton of packs. I apologize for people that can't hear me right now in the same draft. You know what? I don't like Cryptic Command that much here. I guess Tolarian Academy makes me like Cryptic Command a lot. I'm going to get incredibly greedy, and I'm just going to take the Gaia's Cradle. Okay, now there's a Time Warp. There's also Volcanic Island. I mean, it's hard to justify Volcanic Island when I have Mystic Confluence as my only spell. And Time Warp with Tolarian Academy is just incredible. Any Time Walk effect with Tolarian Academy is incredible. Okay, now we have a Mightstone Weakstone. We had a couple artifacts before, like the Thopter and the Talisman. Not hugely into those currently. But here I think it's a pretty easy, just take the Mightstone Weakstone. As I said, I would love to see a Third Path. I would love to see Saheeli. Things that can turn on the Gaia's Cradle and the Tolarian Academy, of course. There's Frantic Search, which untaps our Tolarian Academy. I think I want to take that. The rest of this pack is honestly kind of meh. The Reprieve is good, but in this strategy, I just really want to really abuse this Tolarian Academy as much as possible. And I'm hoping that it's a coincidence that we're not seeing a ton of artifacts here, more so than like whoever this person is. Who Blast Pro is not just taking all the artifacts from us. There's Coveted Jewel. I'm gonna take the Coveted Jewel. I could also take Consult the Star Charts, but outside of Tolarian Academy, there's nothing really that like we're trying to find desperately, and there's other ways to to find Tolarian Academy. So I'm going to take the Coveted Jewel and just try to do the most vintage cube thing I can do. Cards we really want to see now are like Kitten. Oh, there's an Upheaval. There's also a Currency Converter, though. That's tough. There's also a Tameo, which I would love to see. This is a tough pack 8 for us. Even Reckoner Bankbuster, I know Adam and Will would appreciate me taking this card. The Legend of Kuruk I would consider. I need to stop highlighting over that. I really, really, really like this Upheaval. I might regret. I don't think I'm supposed to pass this Currency Converter, but I'm gonna take this Upheaval. Currency Converter is somewhat replaceable. Upheaval just absolutely is not, and I don't like it, but we're going to take Lava Spur Boots just for the artifact. I'm aware there's a Tursa and I passed it, but Lava Spur Boots is a 1-mana artifact that can get the things going, and if we can build our deck like with Tinker in mind, Lava Spur Boots will become relevant. So there's a miscalc, but there's also a Steam Vents, and I already really want Third Path. Saheeli, not as relevant because it can be mono blue, but I'm going to take the Steam Vents. The Mana Confluence, though, or Mana Confluence, that's what this card is. The miscalculation is going to be missed, though, I'm sure. But yeah, we're going to take Talisman of Conviction here. Notably, it's also a red touching talisman, which is really nice. I'm not going to play any of these cards. I'm just going to put Indulta the Triumph in my sideboard. Malevolent Rumble's not a 0, and it makes me decently happy I have Indulta, but Indulta doesn't touch any of the other colors. I could just take Godless Shrine, but I think I'm more likely to play Malevolent Rumble. Mutagen Ooze, activated abilities of artifact tokens you control cost 1 less to activate. Mutagen man enters. Okay, that's annoying. I probably would have taken the Mutagen because remember we have Gaia's Cradle anyway, so we're not unlikely to play green. Okay, there's a Tameo. Tameo generates clues, which goes really well with the Academy. Maybe we get this Rager Verge, River Pyre Verge on the wheel. We're not going to get Pyrogoyf on the wheel, unfortunately. And if River Pyre Verge doesn't wheel, then maybe Unholy Heat will. If I can speak. And then there's also Tolarian Academy, or Talisman of Curiosity. Jeez. Okay, let's take the Tameo and move on. But yeah, so I don't know if I would have played the mutagenic whatever card that I was reading when the pick got taken, but Malevolent Rumble definitely makes me want to consider green. There's a Gut. Gut turns artifacts into creatures, not necessarily great, and I don't have to play this Gaia's Cradle. But Gut is a very powerful effect and definitely a reward for playing red if I'm going to be playing a bunch of cheap artifacts anyways. The problem I have with Gut is that I don't plan on being very aggressive. So even though like Tameo can basically attack and make, if you stack the triggers correctly, Tameo basically attacks as a 4-1 that just like exponentially gets bigger. I guess not exponentially, but it gets bigger. Like you make a second one, you make a third one, etc. With that said, there's a Candelabra. I don't know if I'm willing to gamble Candelabra wheeling. We haven't seen a ton of premium artifacts yet. There's also a Psychic Frog, which again is another premium card, but we really need cheap artifacts, and Candelabra for a Tolarian Academy deck is one of the best ones, so I'm just going to take that. Alright, there's a Tezzeret. Tezzeret's nice because it can find these cheap artifacts. There's also a Ponder I really hope that wheels. There's a Pirate Spellbomb I'd love to wheel since we picked up the Steam Vents. But yeah, I want to take the Tezzeret here. Okay, so we have a Lorien, which allows us to find Steam Vents. There's Lockmare, which I enjoyed playing in the past. There's Fiery Confluence. If this was like in a pod, I would consider taking the Fiery Confluence as it's really good against us and we can play it. But I also like Mana Fixing. I also like Coalition Relic, to be honest. But I want to take Lorien Revealed. Maybe Coalition Relic wheels. Ooh, Urza's Bauble. That's great. I really would like this Thieving Skydiver to wheel. I don't know if it will or not, but I absolutely love Urza's Bauble, or just the baubles in general. And it's a 0-mana artifact that Tezzeret can get to cycle. Obviously, it goes well with our Tolarian Academy. Let's take it. Okay, there's a Portal. I don't know how frequently we can cast Portal. It's hard to justify Portal without Tinker while there's a Malcolm in the pack. Malcolm doesn't help our Academy, but it does help us filter out these bigger artifacts for maybe more playable cards early, or gets rid of, extra lands for some of these bigger artifacts later. Yeah, I want to take the Malcolm. There's also Aang, but I don't want to splash too many colors, and the balance is already gone, so like I'm hugely disincentivized to play white moving forward. I guess we take Trinket Mage. I'm not happy about it, but like I don't want any of these other cards either. At least it's blue if we can find like a Forcible or something. Okay, there's Lightning Greaves, which keep in mind, we haven't seen Nadu yet, and Nadu can be very strong. And it's definitely a card I'm willing to splash for, and I guess goes decently with Gaia's Cradle because we're gonna want more creatures in that case. I think it's between Storm Chasers and Kappa. I'm just gonna take the Kappa though. Kappa is very strong in this cube, I've found. Okay, there's a Rage of Urge. There's also a Gitaxian Probe I didn't expect to wheel. Enduring Curiosity. If we were trying to go for that Simic, like, opposition style deck to make this Gaia's Cradle good, I would definitely want this Enduring Curiosity. Pest Infestation can make Gaia's Cradle good. Here, I'm just going to take the Verge, though. I like the Gitaxian Probe, too, but I want to take the Verge. Okay, well, now I kind of wish I took the Gitaxian Probe because there's a Spire Bluff. I could take Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning is a very strong card. I technically don't even have a red card yet, but in case I can find the third path creature that makes the 1/1s artifacts, I really want to be able to cast it reliably. So I'm just gonna preemptively take these Izzet lands. Okay, Ponder did wheel. That's excellent. So did Correlation Relic, but so did Expressive Iteration. We have the red to support it. Let's take Expressive. This is definitely a reward for doing that. Lockmere is also here, but I'm going to take Expressive. Like, we already want cheap artifacts in our deck. I guess I'll take the Grixis land. All right, third pack is really going to have to help us because our deck is I don't even know if it's considered medium at this point. It's pretty under medium. So hopefully we can find at least 3 more 1 or 0 drop artifacts, and then, you know, another handful of 2s, or just some more artifact generators like Tamiyo. Okay, well, we'll take Aang on the wheel. I don't think we're going to play him, but Eternal Witness, that's not a 0. Although it's getting less and less likely as the thing goes. Okay, there's a Force of Will. There's also a Vampiric Tutor. There's a Teferi, which, you know, I don't hate to play white for, but I'm not incentivized to take it. I'm definitely not taking it over Force of Will. There's Dismember, which isn't going to wheel, unfortunately, but that's another really good card to consider. But yeah, here we're just going to slam dunk this Force of Will. Okay, there's a Lightning Bolt. I can't really stave off, you know, some of the best removal in the game. Like, I staved off the Chain Lightning. I don't know if I can do that with Lightning Bolt. So yeah, I'm going to take the Lightning Bolt. Kite Sail Arsonist is kind of cool, turning something into a treasure. Fresh Start has also been, I've really enjoyed playing with this card as well, but I'm going to take the Lightning Bolt. Time Twister. That's a nice card with Tolarian Academy. Also notably, the Portal didn't wheel, which means someone has a Tinker, which is probably why we're not seeing a ton of cheap artifacts. This Aether Spellbomb I should probably prioritize. Fraction of Divinity is another card I would consider playing white for, but at this point, it's probably too late. One of the other, like, fetchable white sources that we haven't seen yet until now is also in this pack, unfortunately. I want to take the Time Twister, though. It's not too late to hit, like, a Hull Breacher or a Narset. Retrofitter Foundry, that is perfect. I absolutely love Retrofitter Foundry in decks like these, and it makes it to where I can debatably play the Gaia's Cradle, although still not 100%, of course. Ancient Tomb, yeah, I really like that. I could get Mystical Tutor for Upheaval. That's not bad, but Ancient Tomb lets us cast. I mean, it casts Frantic Search for plus mana. You know, helps us cheat on the Time Twister, Trinket Mage, Tezzeret. Yeah, this is actually a really good Ancient Tomb deck. I'm going to take it. Okay, there's a Lion's Eye Diamond. There's also a Karn that makes multiple artifacts. There's Astrologian's Planisphere. I mean, there's also just Lion's Eye Diamond, though. And Lion's Eye Diamond is fetchable off the Tezzeret. Yeah, I'm going to take the Lion's Eye Diamond. We have Time Twister to go with it. At absolute minimum, it's Black Lotus when we have Time Twister. And sometimes it'll generate more mana. I can crack it in response to Coveted Jewel. Like, it's going to have some play. That's funny. Loot is here if I had better green fixing. I would honestly consider playing that. Here, I'll just take the consider. I want to increase the chances of drawing a Tolarian Academy as much as possible. Okay, this is another artifact generator, Chromhost Seed Shark. I think we'll take that. Pentad Prism's also in the pack. I do love Pentad Prism. Unfortunately, we're going to see no more new cards, though. But you know what? We got the Retrofitter Foundry. I don't think I'm going to bother playing the Gaia's Cradle. Outside of Retrofitter Foundry, we weren't able to secure more artifact and token generators like in the same thing. Again, like Saheeli. Okay, so we have how many playables currently? So we have 5 lands. So we have 25 playables. That's a lot of playables. So I'm going to take the Fabled Passage here. I wouldn't mind Fairy Mastermind, but I'm going to have to make cuts already, so let's just take the Fixing. Yeah, I don't want any of these. I'll take the Fresh Start. Daze Wield, but so did... I would love this Daze, honestly, but I'm going to take Aether Spellbomb. Dig Through Time, although I'm not excited about it. Mystical Tutor, nice. And I guess no one's playing Flash unless it's like the person to our left that opened it and just hope that these wield. I'm not going to play either of these. And what's our last pick? I do think we have barely enough pieces that we did get like those 3 pieces of cheap artifacts that I mentioned wanting. So I'll see you guys in the deck building. This is what I ended up with. It was really hard to justify the Coveted Jewel in this style deck. I don't have a lot of ways to abuse it, and I think Upheaval's kind of the best way, but it's going to be hard to play Jewel and Upheaval profitably in the same turn, and if I'm passing the turn with Jewel, the chances of it being taken, thus defeating the purpose of Upheaval, just seems really bad. And unfortunately, our deck just doesn't do vintagey things. So we kind of fell short on like having a Narset or a Hull Breacher to kind of help abuse things with our Time Twister. So I'm just going to have to play this fairly. I hope that Retrofitter and Tolarian Academy can kind of take over games, which it certainly can if they go unchecked, but that's true for a lot of cards in this cube. Kappa Cannoneer can be a beating, especially considering I can give it haste. I do have to play the Lava Spur Boots, in my opinion, to make this Tolarian Academy as good as possible. Not the best Lionside Diamond deck, but I mean, we can fetch it off Trinket Mage, which I guess is something, but I think it's just going to have to be, become a Black Lotus post Twister or, make a second artifact I'm never going to flip with Chrome Host. Not super exciting, but regardless, it's cube. I love cubing, and I'm going to see if I can make this pile work. I'll see you in round 1. The NYSE is returning for its 10th installment this summer. Have you ever won a piece of power during a Magic the Gathering tournament? Well, now's your chance. All 5 Moxen, a Time Walk, an Ancestral Recall, and even a Black Lotus will be up for grabs at this tournament. This event will be taking place on June 6th in Patchogue, New York. Worried about playing an underpowered deck? Don't worry. You're allowed to play with up to 15 proxies. Use the link in the description for more information regarding this historic event. I can't wait to see you there. Now let's get back to the action. Welcome to round 1 of our 03 draft. Hopefully I'm kidding. We'll find out soon though. Okay, I have Fabled Passage into Aether Spellbomb on turn 2 into Tolarian Academy. This doesn't seem the greatest, but if I can get to 3 mana, the Tezzeret will start popping off, and then maybe I can get to the Mightstone Weakstone. So sure, let's try it. Being on the draw is definitely going to help a lot. That's a Steam Vents. That accelerates this process by a lot. So let's play this Aether Spellbomb. If we can draw another 1 mana artifact, that would be really nice. Or ideally a 0 mana artifact. Just being able to play Tezzeret immediately. Dauthi Voidwalker. I'm glad we have this Lightning Bolt in our deck. In fact, let's just take out the Dauthi Voidwalker now. We are going to play Fabled Passage. And let's just pass the turn. We do get to play Tezzeret next turn. Night's Whisper, sure. I think I'm going to fetch Mountain just in case they have a Wasteland. I have Island already in my hand, and I have a lot more islands. Okay, Spire Bluff. That's not bad. Let's play the Tezzeret. Let's minus the Tezzeret. If they have a Lightning Bolt, they have a Lightning Bolt. Pretty sure we want Retrofitter here, although Candelabra would be nice, but we can get Candelabra if we can get Tezzeret back up again. Inquisition taking our retro. That's brutal. That is absurdly brutal. And they have Hellkite to... Okay. I mean, I guess that was a punish for fetching immediately, but... Yeah, that's insane. Okay, at least we have a Mightstone Weakstone to follow it up with. Let's draw 2. I don't want to crack the LED in response because I have Upheaval in my hand that I actually want to cast. Okay, Talisman was also incredible for the situation. It's in the turn. They're probably going to play Hellkite. Yep. And then I'm going to leave up Mystic Confluence probably into Upheaval potentially. I want to get that value first, I think. And I'm probably just going to take 4 damage. I could also bounce this, I suppose. Oh. Chrome Host Seed Shark. You don't say. Let's play that. They don't know about the Mystic Confluence. Yep, I'm just going to take the 4. End of turn, I could bounce and draw 2 cards. I'll counter that unless they pay 2. I could counter it unless they pay 1 and draw 2 cards, and I can discard one of the cards and basically force them to tap out. I like that. Let's do that. Let's force them to tap out, and then, you know, one of the cards I draw, assuredly, I'm willing to discard to the Croxa. Sure, especially when it's an island. I take 3 more. Resolve. I'm just going to flip this now. I get to attack for 7. Sure. We're going to Upheaval. Probably going to crack LED in response. Yep, definitely going to crack LED in response. All right, let's smack for 7. And so how do we want to do this? So obviously this. I don't have enough to, so I was going to try and, yeah, I'm 1 short and I don't want to play my land before Upheaval. Okay, yeah, good game. So the thing I was thinking about is that I could, if I had 6 mana that I could use the Upheaval for, I can't use it with the Mightstone Weakstone, is I could Upheaval in response to my trigger, so like pass priority because, you know, the trigger will be on the stack, so I can still respond to my Upheaval. Generates an extra token and I get an extra mana out of that is what I was thinking. Unfortunately, without playing my land drop, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But just to fully explain my thought process there, I'll see you in round 2. Welcome to round 2. I mean, Ponder, Consider, Trinket Mage for Candelabra, potentially. Yeah, we'll try this. We could even Ponder, which I think I like pondering on turn 1. That's a Force of Will. And a 3rd land, which I don't hate as well. I think unless they like Black Lotus me, I don't necessarily want to draw the Force of Will immediately because of discard. But I guess if they discard me, like if they take Force of Will, then whatever. Okay, I'll take the Force of Will now. They have to like Thoughtseize into Black Lotus into like a bunch of cool stuff for me to regret that decision, so seemed unlikely. Let's play the Spell Bomb. Now, I don't want to Consider here because I do want the Upheaval eventually, and I don't want to surveil the Upheaval. Sure. I guess. Okay, you know what? I guess I lied to you. I am gonna consider just to use my mana efficiently because I want to Trinket Mage the following turn. I just hate that it wasn't like a preordained. Okay, ooh, Retrofitter is nice. Sure, let's take a Retrofitter. Or play Retrofitter, I mean. We can immediately take a token. I wish I had got Expedition map. That would make this Trinket Mage probably medium. But, I'd like to say it would make it good. Also, super exciting that Force of Will is coming to Arena that can be crafted. Super, super happy with that. Yep, we'll take the 1. Well, that's not fair. I probably want to just Vindicate or Force of Will this. And I'm going to pitch the Time Warp. I still value the Trinket Mage. Lava Spur Boots. Well, we're short of mana, so I guess I'll play Boots. Yeah, I don't have like a Seed of the Sign out or anything to get with this. And I want to start making 4/4s, so I guess I'll play a Lava Spur Boots. Not too exciting, but there we are. I'll equip the boots. Why not? Attack for 2. And then Ward is like hexproof, so I mean I don't target it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Sure, you have a Preacher. Yep, I'll take 1. Let's make a flyer. So now I can attack for 1 in the air. And then if they attack me back, I can just trade their Preacher with my basically no mana. Okay, that's not bad. I'm really glad I drew a land there. Now I can Trinket Mage with... I can still Lava Spur Boots, but I can hold up Aether Spellbomb is my point. Let's... Probably take Candelabra. I guess I can also just take Bauble. I'm probably supposed to take Bauble here. Let's play the Bauble. Let's attack for 1. Let's end the turn. I'm gonna Bauble on their turn. Just 1 less card for them to Thoughtseize. I already have like a premium card that they're going to want to Thoughtseize, but right now that card doesn't do anything, literally, so I don't care if they Thoughtseize it. Oh, we're even, so you get to do the thing. Okay, or both things, I should say. Frustrating, but it is what it is. If they have removal, cool. They have removal. It cost them a card, it didn't cost me a card. If this makes blue for Tide Hollow, okay, I was going to say. Okay. I mean, they got a card back out of it, but I'm happy with that. Fury. Okay. I could save the Trinket Mage with Aether Spellbomb. That does get me Candelabra. Let's look at their hand. Go for the Throat. Yeah, they have more removal for this, and this finding a Candelabra doesn't do a whole lot right now, so that's fine. My turn. Okay. I don't hate a Tamiyo. Tamiyo can block. Tamiyo can attack right now, actually. But then I can't Aether Spellbomb the Fury, but I don't want to do that because then they can just get back. I'll have to take 6 doing this, but I could have also just chosen not to attack and just to block. I can Aether Spellbomb the Fury, but like I said, I really don't want to do that. They can also go for the throat. If they go for the throat my Tamiyo, then I probably will bounce. Okay. Let's make a 1/1. We're going to block the Fury here. It means I can't make another token yet, but if I top deck a land, then I can retrofit her, make a 1/1, untap, and then block, and then sack to make a flyer. Okay, that's fine. I do like the way that they played this. I think that was very smart. At least with information that I have, I think that was very smart. I could just take that, but 6 damage is so much. And honestly, if I can resolve this upheaval, I'm really liking life. I would love a Tolarian Academy here just so I can upheaval the following turn, because I don't want to. I want to play a land drop. Uh-oh. Sephiroth, not great. Sephiroth, factually not great for me. Speaking of not great, that is also not great. But we can do the play I talked about now, so not the end of the world. And if I have to, I can always upheaval. And then it kind of negates all their card draw and everything. Yep. Now, of course, if they have a reprieve, that's going to be very annoying. Or a Mana Tithe, because I'm not going to play a land if I draw it first, obviously. Okay. That's fine. Something else I'm going to want to do here is I'm going to want to full control. Make pay the 2 and then in response untap so that they don't have an opportunity to destroy my creature before I can sack it. So yep, now this resolves. Just a little trick for those of you that may not be aware. Now, of course, they could have done that in response to blocks, but then I can still make the 1/1 to block. So glad I didn't take 6 earlier, by the way. Okay, now I'm probably just confirmed to Fury at this point. Hopefully they tap out. Please tap out. Okay. I mean, I don't have a choice. I'm not going to live through another turn cycle, so I'm going to have to upheaval and pray. It's unfortunate I didn't get to use this clue beforehand, but it is what it is, I suppose. Do you have it, or are you sandbagging? I guess they're debating on sacking so that they can do 2 more damage to me is what they're doing at this point. If they had Reprieve or Mana Tithe, they would have played it by now. Honestly, they probably should just go ahead and sack, starting with the Fury, just because I'm at 6. Okay, yeah. They're going to have to discard a bunch of cards anyways, so they kind of might as well. So I'm going to assume that it's resolving, since they're sacking their board to it. Okay. So now we get to play our Spire Bluff because this is not starting town. And then we're going to play Retrofitter. And then probably discard Mountain. Watch them just play Black Lotus into Sephiroth or something. I guess they'd probably play the Yawgmoth. Yep. Oh, wow. No fast mana. Cool. I mean, it was already assumed, but they could have drawn it this turn. And now I can play Island, leave up Lightning Bolt. Only having to discard Mountain is kind of nice there. I could see that I'm probably supposed to sack an island, but I only have 2 red cards in my entire deck, so I am going to play Mountain. I am going to say go because I want to be able to make a 1/1. And also it leaves up Lightning Bolt, which is not nothing. Interesting. Yep, let's make a 1/1 because if I can get Kappa Cannoneer down, that'll be great. Now I can Lava Spur Boots and Aether Spell Bomb. I'll attack for 1 here. I think it's decently free. They could have a Felia, but I have a Lightning Bolt. Okay, they chose not to play the other. Okay, Cathar Commando. Sure. I'm debating if I want to Lightning Bolt this. Did they discard the Sephiroth? They did. Yep, let's do that. Next turn I'll play the Kappa and then probably equip Lightning or Lava Spur Boots to it. So it was kind of a punish for playing out 2 artifacts there, but I wasn't sure if they were keeping up a counterspell or not. Persist is brutal. Was not expecting a persist, I'm going to be honest. But Kappa can beat that. I'm just going to make sure that this gets done correctly. Resolve. Yep, that'll trigger. And then Lava Spur on that, auto pay. And then we'll pass the turn. I'm not going to attack. Ward 1 and Ward 4 is kind of funny. No attacks. And then next turn I can start attacking because I'll have Retrofitter Foundry. Of course, they still have Yawgmoth, which is not nothing. Staff of the Storyteller, interesting. I guess they are setting up for Yawgmoth, like a bigger Yawgmoth. Yeah, let's Expressive Iteration, please. Tolarian Academy, Chrome Host, Seed Shark. I mean, it's probably Tolarian Academy here. As much as I don't need another land. Oh, shoot. I get both. What am I? This is not. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I guess we exile this. I should have exiled the Tolarian Academy, but whatever. Unfortunate that this is the way that I did it, but again, it's whatever. All right. It could be game next turn. Yep, they draw a card. If they play land, play Yawgmoth, I'll probably just bounce Fury, and I think that's going to be game. Please just play Yawgmoth. Bitter Triumph. I can save that. I don't think this matters, so I'll let it go. I'll just block with the servo. So I don't have a multicolor card because Ghost Flame could, or Ghost Fire, whatever, the 4 mana, if I have multicolor, you could cast for 1. They've already played their land, so they can't play that. I don't think Fire Blast is in the cube anymore. I'm not going to play the Aether Spell Bomb. I'm just going to hope that they don't have 4 damage to my face. Because that would be unfortunate. And we don't like unfortunate. Okay. We're going to make a token. We're going to untap and make a token. Then we're going to attack. Lightning Helix? Brutal. Okay. Yeah, that's a Lightning Helix. Okay, I was not expecting that. We're not dead. Yep. Yeah, we are dead because of the Yawgmoth. Well, good on our opponent, I suppose. Well, they don't know the 3 cards that we have in our hand, but I doubt that they're not going to play the Yawgmoth. Oh, okay. Am I wrong? Oh, you know, it's the Sephiroth that does the damage. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Welcome to round 3. This is turn 2 Chrome Host, and to bobble into, another trigger off Chrome Host. Let's keep. Yep, I guess we're going to have to lead Island, huh? Because Fable Passage. I want that to get red if we need it, and it's going to come into play tapped anyways, so we're just going to have to hope to hit 4th land, or maybe we just do it on turn 3 when it might not matter. Either way, we're not going to consider just yet. We are going to Ancient Tomb into Chrome Host. Please don't have Stern Scolding. They appear not to. Let's play Bauble. That'll trigger. We're not going to flip this, but it's another artifact for a Tolarian Academy off the top. We are going to crack this Bauble on their turn because we do want to see more cards. Baleful Strix, okay. I'm not worried about that. That's just a bad cantrip at this point. Let's Bauble them. We see a Forest, okay. Untap, draw 2 cards. We see an Upheaval, that's not good. Candelabra, equally not great. So I have Fabled Passage here. I'm debating if I want a Candelabra. I guess if I Candelabra, it allows me to play Mightstone, Weakstone next turn, whether or not I draw a land. And I think I value that. I could also just hold up Consider. I could also just do both. If I'm not a coward and just tap my Ancient Tomb. Yeah, let's just not be a coward and tap the Ancient Tomb. Let's make another token. We can use that. Oh, you know what? Because we can untap the Fable Passage too, or the Fable Passage land, but we're just going to untap the Ancient Tomb. This way we can flip the Phyrexian if we want to. We're not likely to, but you never know. But yeah, I'm going to probably Fable Passage for Mountain and then cast Consider. End of turn. We'll just take the 1. I doubt the attack. I was going to say, yeah. Okay, so we want a Fable Passage. They have Tide, whatever. Oh, Wan Shi Tong. You know what? That's fine. We'll fresh start this. Taking another 2, which is going to save us in the long run anyways because of this. So now it's not going to draw a card off the search. Okay, so we have Mightstone, Weakstone now, and Candelabra can untap 2 lands. So let's draw 2. Make a 5/5. That's incredible. Draw 2. Oh, now we have a Tezzeret that we can play now. Yeah. How is this worded? Non-artifact spell. So I would have to use both of these to untap 2 things, including the Ancient Tomb, just to get the Tezzeret. I think I like that. 2. These 2. Let's Tezzeret. Then I can untap the Mightstone, Weakstone. And then I can either hold up to make a 5/5 or Aether Spellbomb. I think I want to hold up to make a 5/5. See what the opponent has to do. I'm loving this fresh start. Go for the throat. I think our card did its damage. We have so many tokens to flip. We also have Time Twister. We can get it back eventually if it's really that bad. Oh, Reanimate? Okay. I don't hate Reanimate because now we can just Mystic Confluence bounce. Sure. Also sure. Let's transform this 5/5. Force of Will makes this even better. Attacking with the 3/3 or anything doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's return, draw. We can pay for Mana Leak because of Candelabra. I kind of hope they do Mana Leak us. Okay, we have a Time Twister now. Excellent. Okay, so let's Aether Spellbomb. Use that for blue. Untap Island. Play Tameo. I can go get LED, but I don't need to do that right now. Let's attack here. Okay. And then I don't want to lose my Tezzeret, so let's just untap this to make another Incubator flip. And again, I have Force of Will up too, which is just really nice. Sure. We block with Tameo there. I'm not scared with that at all. Another land. Excellent. Tolarian a cat. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Their own Chrome host. I think I can beat a Chrome host. I mean, again, we have our own as well. Let's flip a 3/3. I would absolutely love to draw not that. So I can cast Chrome Host. Untap these 2 lands. I guess I don't need to use the Tezzeret just yet. Let's attack with our 5/5 and see how they feel about that. I don't want to attack with the Tamiyo. Okay, they take the 5. We'll untap the Mightstone Weakstone here. And then I think we're just going to consider end of turn. I could flip the Tamiyo. If I don't, a Sin. I think we want to consider first. Another island. I think I'm going to force pitching the Trinket Mage. I really hope that they don't have Reanimate here. Oh no, the Reanimate's already used. I hope they don't have, like, land. I guess they only have 1 card, so they can't land drop Animate Dead. Let's activate, make another 5/5. Let's bounce, I guess, the token. Let's just bounce the Chrome Host. I think I can afford to flip this 2/2 as well. Because now, let's see, they block a 5/5 and a 2, or so they block the 2 5/5s. They take 3, 5, 6, 7. If they block Chrome Host with Baleful Strix and a 5/5, they take 10. Annoying, but not the end of the world. I could Time Twister. I don't hate Time Twistering here, but it fills their hand too just as much. Let's minus Tezzeret. Get the Retrofitter. If I Time Twister, I can flip Tamiyo, but again, I don't like that line. Okay. They don't know the 3 cards in my hand. I was going to attack with all of my tokens. I was debating on the other things. But either way, I'll take the concession. I'll see you next round. I am proud to announce the 2026 Oklahoma Land Run Weekend, July 10th through the 12th. This event will be held at the Reed Convention Center in Midwest City, Oklahoma. Join me and my vintage family for a weekend of Magic the Gathering events featuring huge prizes and competitive play across multiple formats. Main events include a Vintage, a Legacy, and a Team Trios event, including Vintage, Legacy, and Modern. Don't have power? No worries. You can proxy any card currently on the reserve list. This year's artist is none other than the literal legend Nicola Beeson. Beeson will be on site all weekend long and is the designer of this year's playmat. Our game would not have stood the test of time without artists like Nicola Beeson. Please show her some support during the event. In addition to other prizes, the Vintage Champion will receive the original painting of the playmat art, while the Legacy Champion will receive the original sketch of the painting. Side events so far include a High Roller Vintage Cube for Power Thursday evening, at least one 1 old school charity event, a pre-modern challenge, also Thursday evening, hosted by GameHQ, Duel Commander, and even more to follow. For more information, please use the links in the description to join the Oklahoma Land Run Discord. I'll see you there. Now let's get back to the video. Welcome to round 4. I'm not in love with this hand, but we do have an expressive iteration and a Tolarian revealed in it. I don't know how explosive this is going to be. It's very borderline, but expressive iteration can find a lot. I'm going to try it. Starting off with an Aether Spellbomb, that's nice. I'm also just going to play out this LED. Seeing Swamp, I don't want to get... I mean, I guess Mind Twist is now easier to take my whole hand, but still. Ooh, Unmarked Grave. I'm glad I took out, or drew and played the Aether Spellbomb. Oh, well, I guess that doesn't do too much. Alright, Spire Bluff. I assume that they're just going to make 4 1/1s very soon. I could Expressive Iteration for exactly Black Lotus, Force of Will. Don't know how I got those two things confused. But I'm not going to. Let's just let them have their 4 1/1s, I assume is what's coming. Oh, Luris? Sure, you have a Luris. I am going to play this Tolarian revealed. Or cycle it, I should say. I just don't think I'm going to have a lot of time to not cycle it. I probably should have got Basic Island. And I don't want to bounce this Aether Spellbomb just in case. Also, Unmarked Grave with a Luris deck is kind of cool because you can just tutor thanks to the Luris. I don't know if I want to Aether Spellbomb, and I don't think I will. Mightstone Weakstone is not bad. Ancient Tomb lets me play it next turn if I want. Okay, I did find a Force of Will. So I'm going to put Force of Will in my hand. I'm going to put Lava Spur. I think Lava Spur goes back to my deck because I want... Like, I don't want this to be exiled because I want to leave up a bounce spell, I think. Or I guess I don't have to. Okay, I'll play the Lava Spur Boots and just hope I don't get punished. I'm not going to shock in, which is why I said I should have just got a Basic Island. Now, if they play something that they can get back with Luris, there's really no point in Force of Willing it. Okay. What is this? I'm likely going to Force of Will whatever this is. Mind Twist for 5. I mean, yeah. Don't really have a choice. At least I get to hit the Luris now, which is nice. Yep. Drawing land, not nice. I could draw 2 cards here, but Luris is going to do a lot of damage, and I don't know what else they could have. I am probably going to cycle this Aether Spellbomb end of turn, though. Unless they put into play Battlesphere. Oh, Grief? That's fine. You see my entire hand of nothing. Congratulations. Draw a card. Kappa Cannoneer would be nice. Mountain, not nice. Time Twister, honestly, in this situation, nice. I am going to play my Island. I know Tolarian Academy's in my deck, but let's just play Island. My cycle for Steam Vents ended up not mattering at all, which I think is honestly a good thing. Because it just means I had other things to do, which I value. Okay, so I have Malcolm. I have Trinket Mage. I think I value and just end of turn Malcolm, even though it's going to cost me 2 life. Let's play the Bauble. You know what? No, I can Trinket Mage now, and then that lets me get... I could go for Candelabra, but actually that doesn't get me 2 mana like I originally thought it was going to. Oh, I also should have sacked LED, I just realized too, for blue. When I cast the Time Twister, that was a mistake. Something I just completely missed until just this second. Okay, so I could take Aether Spellbomb, but I don't want to. Let's take Retrofitter. That's the card I actually want. And I can attack for 3. I can't block anyways. So I might as well. All right, pass the turn. I do need to bobble before they pass. Ancestral Recall, okay. Opponent does seem to be mostly black. I do like this island. Unfortunately, you can't just craft these. They're pretty stingy with their basics, unfortunately, because I would probably play this island if I could. Liliana. Okay, I have plenty of islands to discard to that. It's too bad my Upheaval is exiled, because I think Upheaval is going to be like the easy way to win this game. Sure, you sack Trinket Mage. You got it. Yep. I will look at you. Swamp, excellent. They get rid of Mirror Battlesphere. That's cute. Okay, now remember, I can Malcolm haste, so I'm going to do that because duh. Play Malcolm. Tap Mightstone, Weakstone. Play Lava, or activate Lava. Play Aether Vial. Let's attack. I'm not too worried about getting burned out or anything, but I do need to be more. I need to start being a little bit more mindful towards the Retrofitter. I could bounce their Grief, honestly, because like they're gonna take a cantrip. Oh well, that might be worth doing in all honesty. Nah, I'm just gonna play the Tezzeret, untap the Mightstone, Weakstone, and call it good. Because this way I can make another 1/1. If they want to, they might even attack Tezzeret to keep me from tutoring. Something I might do is I might consider, do whatever. If I don't hit anything, I might ponder and then sack LED in response. Okay, they do attack me. That's fine. I go to 6. Again, out of Dimir, I'm not too worried about being burned out. Like, the best way they can do it is, like, Arcana Cruelty, but they tutored for Mirror Battlesphere, so I don't think they have Arcana Cruelty in their deck. Sure. This gets blocked all day, I believe. Recurring Nightmare is a problem. So I could cycle for Force of Will. And if I don't hit it, I can't bounce the Mirror Battlesphere. But they have 6 mana. They can just replay the Mirror Battlesphere, so there's no reason, in my opinion, at this point, to not draw to Force of Will. Did not hit the Force of Will. Okay. Resolve. Mirror Battlesphere is going to happen, unfortunately. So I think I lose this game. Good on our opponent. The best way I can get out of this, I didn't have to, but I felt like I had to. I didn't know I was going to draw a Time Twister post Mind Twist. Sorry, I didn't realize they were waiting on me. Yep, you have a Shelldock Isle. If I would have drawn Force of Will there, that would have been pretty sweet, not going to lie. Okay, Fabled Passage. I probably need to play this just to thin the deck. Can also Malcolm attack to draw another card as well. Okay, Mystic Confluence. It honestly just doesn't really do it either, but sure, we'll play to our outs, I suppose. Yep, get this just to help thin the deck again. Okay, so let's consider expressive iteration. Sure, that's more looks. I mean, yeah. Did I already play my land? Oh, yeah, I played the Fable. Okay, that's on me. Yep. Okay, well, that's annoying. Yeah, it's probably going to do it then, unfortunately, but here we are. Pay one, untap this. Ponder. Fresh start. If I had the mana, I could, and I can't draw. Oh no, yeah, the Malcolm does it. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put Island first. We're not gonna shuffle. Decline. And then we're gonna sack LED in response to the Malcolm trigger. And fresh start the Mirror Battlesphere. I don't think that's going to be enough, but that's what I'm going to do. Oh, wait, no, oh, yeah. Wait. Undo. Yeah, this doesn't work. Because you have to discard. Yep, that doesn't work. Okay. Sure. Resolves. Discard Mountain, why not? Thought I was being clever. Yep, let's see what they do. And of course they know I have 3 lands in hand now. The game doesn't reveal it permanently because I undid it, but oh, what's this? Him to Torok. Sure. Dang. Okay, well. They also just have looping recurring nightmare, so I'm just not beating this. Sure. And then the 4 mirrors kill me. All right, good game. Welcome to round 5. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. We can lead off with it's another, ponder if we want to, but here I'm just gonna lead off with Candelabra. And then we can, consider and ponder in future turns. Talisman, okay. We have a Verge coming down. Thoughtseize, that's fine. We have 2 cantrips. I doubt they take either of the bigger 2 spells. I think it's incorrect if they do so. I mean, I can't play the 2 bigger spells, and they don't do much currently. So I can't imagine why they wouldn't. I think they should take Ponder. But I can't imagine why they wouldn't take one of the cantrips here. Okay, they take time warp, sure. Let's ponder. Shuffle. Tolarian Academy, fantastic. Definitely a reason not to play the land yet, but I wouldn't want to expose it to Wasteland anyways, so I'm probably still playing the Consider here. But now I can go Tolarian Academy, Time Twister, depending. Okay, now I'm going to go Trinket Mage. And here I think I want Lion's Eye Diamond, and this time I'm not going to be a dummy and forget to crack it in response to my Time Twister. They probably think I'm a breach deck because of the mountains. See what they have. Our opponent seems to be pretty Esper currently. No blocks. Hopefully they're not too blue. Duress. Okay, that takes the Time Twister. But at least we can follow it up with a Kappa now. That's not the end of the world. There's no way they take Upheaval here. I don't believe it. Okay, that's what I thought. Our opponent having 2 discard spells is kind of brutal, honestly. Like, I love our hand there if we get to just cast Time Twister, but oh well. I guess this would have been better spent had I untapped the Tolarian, but whatever. Let's attack for 2. This is honestly kind of a lot of damage. And I can even Upheaval, crack at Lion's Eye Diamond. Vindicate on the Candelabra. Okay. Sure. No blocks. Bobble. That's an extra damage. I'll take it. And honestly, I might not even crack it. Just going to attack for 6 here. Next turn I can Upheaval. If they just say go and don't play that card, I'll... That's a good one. That's a really good one. And they know my last card's Upheaval, unfortunately. Yep. Okay, that's brutal. Yep. Well, we get the block. They gain a life. We get to see what their last card is. I'm tempted to not bobble because it makes the Tolarian Academy worse, but Tashana's. Okay, they currently can't cast that. Now I kind of wish I kept the bobble. Oh, that's a Tezzeret. This is all of my mana? Yeah. Yeah, Tezzeret, kind of a godsend there. Minus. Yep. Retrofitter. Play Retrofitter. We know about the Tidebinder, so I kind of have to do this now. No blocks in turn. And I can block the 2/4. They have Tidebinder, which is, like I said, kind of annoying. But next turn I can... Oh, that's where they're going with that? Okay. Block here, block here. I could let Tezzeret go to 1. I think I like that. Okay. Let's start things off with expressive iteration. Lauren revealed to hand. Library. Exile. Not going to upheaval this turn, so let's play the Lorraine revealed. So here I think I can retrofitter sorcery speed, and then I can technically untap it, but no, so that doesn't make any sense either. So I think I need to just say go. No attacks. This is kind of awkward, not gonna lie. Yeah, let's just end turn. I doubt they played Tashana's because Tashana's is just kind of gonna blow out our retrofitter foundry, unfortunately. Yep. That's what I thought. But we are setting up for a decent upheaval, assuming they don't have a counterspell for it. Yep. Opponent plays another land. Here I am gonna play the or activate the retrofitter. I assume Tide Hollow's coming now. Yep, or Tidebinder. Something I could do is I could pay to untap this, then do it again. But it's not worth it because I have to crack LED and I'm not giving up what's in my hand. That's fine. Probably okay with just taking the 2. Cycle jet mirrors. Okay. My turn. Oh, lightning bolt's actually really nice. Lightning bolt means I might want to keep my stuff around. So let's see here. That's 2. I can float 2 mana. Let's do this. Let's hit that with lightning bolt, which seems excellent, honestly. And then let's make a thing. And then let's untap this. Let's play our land because we're not going to upheaval this turn. And then we can Lorraine revealed. I don't hate that either. I can also just make more make more things. I like making more things. It makes their attacks really awkward. Let's attack for 2. We can start threatening them now, thanks to Retrofitter being unlocked. Okay. Again, they know about the upheaval. If they tap out again, it might be over. Yep. We haven't seen any... Yeah, we haven't seen any counter spells so far. So yeah, I have 2 mana, make a retro... Oh, Deceit. When this creature enters, if blue is spent to cast it, return it to 1 target non-land permanent. When this black was spent, reveals their hand, choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Okay, so they're going to get rid of our upheaval. Unfortunately. Let's see what they choose. Luckily, they can't choose land. The Retrofitter doesn't make... I guess if they get rid of the Retrofitter, sure, then it makes more sense. Let's make a servo. Untap. I guess... I don't want to lose 2 here, so let's just make one of these a flyer in case they don't take the upheaval. Or in case they do take the upheaval, I mean. This also just means the Tezzeret's going to be harder to kill. And I can tutor again. Although I think my targets are all gone. No, I have Lava Spur Boots still. Yep, what do you want to take? I find it very hard to believe. Okay, yeah, I was going to say that they wouldn't take upheaval there. And Time Twister's gone, so that's unfortunate. They have to play like their own Time Twister for me to get it back. Yep. I played a gamble, but they had 3rd discard spell. Yep. What do they have now? Balance. So they're willing to give up a creature? I wish I was willing to sack this Lion's Eye Diamond. I guess I can cycle out a land. I think that's worth 2 life. I don't want this Steam Vents. So they get rid of the 1/1. Looks like they have more lands than I do, and then I need to make sure I read this. Choose a card to keep. I will keep Retrofitter Foundry. There we go. All right. Yep. Sure. Okay, that's not a terrible draw, I suppose. Talisman. That gets it up to 5. This gets us up to 6. Red, blue. Gets it up to 7. As soon as the game wants to load. Untap. I guess I should. So cancel. Undo. But I already floated, so I can't attack now. Oh well. I don't get an extra damage in. Whatever. And then I could have also chosen to... I could have also chosen to go get Candelabra, but I wanted to pop off the Tezzeret now. So this gets 3 +1/+1 counters. That's kind of incredible. Yeah, let's do this, I guess. Because I can block with the 1/1 and sack it in response. LED is basically Black Lotus while I'm empty-handed, so... Fractured Identity is a beating. That is an absolute beating. Sure. That definitely punishes me for doing it the way that I did it, but whatever. Force of Will comes in now after everything. Sure, let's just say go. Make the Lion's Eye Diamond a 3/3. No attacks. They're gonna make some dorks. I guess they're gonna make 1 dork. Oh, I guess, okay, yeah, they were 1 mana short from making another dork, so... Well, I have Force of Will now for the next, like, 1-hit wonder, but now they have Creeping Tar Pit, which is kind of brutal. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna force that. No thanks. Attacking Tezzeret? Okay, deal. Absolute deal. I guess they're happy that they killed my Tezzeret. My turn. Just gonna sack this. I don't have Brainstorm effects in my deck, so those don't matter. Yep. Let's attack for 6. Yep. You're gonna make a 1/1 with it. Fractured Identity. That is incredible. I probably win this game had I just upeviled for like low value just because their deck is so slow. Because I would have had a Tolarian Academy retrofitter going. They would have eventually got the Fractured Identity because I can't kill that quick. But they were at a low life total, so yeah, I probably should have just upeviled there. But I gave them 1 more turn because it was just gonna be a super upheaval if I gave them 1 turn, and unfortunately I think that was enough for them to squeak by. Sure. They really don't like that Tezzeret. Yep, let's go to blocks. So I have to block these or else I just lose. So I guess there we go. I don't think I have an out here, but I mean, here we go. Cameo, definitely not. Yep. Yep. They can just take this. They choose not to. Sure. Now they soup up their stuff. They attack in the air. Yep. They make more food. Good game. See you next round. Welcome to round 6. I really wish this river Pyre Verge made blue. It is kind of disgusting that it doesn't. I'm not going to lie. But we have turn 1 Talisman Candelabra, I suppose, in the interim. So maybe that's fine. But yeah, the River Pyre Verge being red first is very annoying. But I'm going to keep either way. Opponent has a Soul Ring. Okay. We might be going 3-3 here into Currency Converter. Excellent for our opponent. Okay, now we have turn 1 Retrofitter. That's nice. I'm going to keep the other stuff because Tezzeret. Like, if we top deck a Tezzeret, I would like to be able to play all this so we can make the Tezzeret bigger faster, and maybe that could be our out. Raucous Theater bidding a Bitter Triumph. Our opponent is a Lutri deck. Currency Converter Soul Ring is going to go very hard. And Rakdos signifies, and Bitter Triumph signifies that there might be a Reanimator style deck. Well, there's a bauble. I guess we're going to have to play because we need to draw a blue source pretty quickly. Candelabra. I mean, they could be a Wheel of Fortune deck. All right, I'm going to play out the LED. The Raucous Theater having black mana, like if they thought Seize Me, then I can theoretically, LED to make a bunch of tokens maybe. Either way, this is why I stress good mana fixing. Just another example. For the ones that watch like all of my videos, I appreciate you, and 2, I'm sorry I keep repeating myself, but for the ones that, this may be their first video, I stress mana fixing a lot, and this is why. Yep. I'm just going to assume that my opponent's playing a Reanimator Shell at this point. I think I've seen enough to safely assume that. If they're not, it's a hell of a coincidence. I mean, these cards are all good on their own. They don't have to be, but I mean, we're seeing, I guess you can argue that the troll isn't necessarily, but oh, Glorybringer, nice. Yeah, Glorybringer unfortunately resolves. We're going to take 4 here. I guess I'm glad I didn't play Tamiyo yet. Let's bobble them. See what one of their last remaining cards are. Animate dead. Okay. Reanimator confirmed. And I guess we're going to take 2 to make a 1/1. I would love a Tolarian Academy off the top. Said every Tolarian Academy ever. Said every Tolarian Academy player ever, I should say. Tolarian Academy off the top, 1 time. Trinket Mage. Island. I think I just say go here. I have the mana to make a 1/1 and then go to blocks and then make a 4/4. So I don't take any more damage. I'll take 2 damage. I guess there's just play Tamiyo out because I can that's still 4 mana. So I have a mana free to do this. And if they want to exert the Glorybringer, I guess that's fine. Oh, wait, actually, I have Time Warp here. Candelabra, yes please. X equals 3. All 3 of these lands. Pay. Yeah, because the Razor Verge is on now, so let's time warp. Target me. Auto pay. Lots of damage. End turn. Lightning bolt. Dang. That's so close. So yeah, missing an attack there, obviously. But you know what? At least I saw the time warp line. Oh yeah. Okay, so here I can just lightning bolt now, I suppose. Or I guess I just make this a flyer now. Yeah, I'll let them block and I just make it a flyer. Now, if I don't untap this now, then I run into the issue of what I was talking about earlier. Of like, I pay 3 mana to untap this, and then they like maybe snuff this out, which would be very annoying. But I think that's fine. I could also Trinket Mage for something here. So I could Trinket Mage. Actually, I think that's all my targets. Oh, Lava Spur Boots, duh. Yeah, no, let's just end the turn. Let's see how they want to play this. There's a world where I just want to block with this 1/1 with the Glorybringer. Maybe they miss the Candelabra, but with them being a red deck and this Ancient Tomb doing like just infinite damage to me, I kind of need to be careful. I could also, if they don't exert the Glorybringer here, I can block and then Lightning Bolt the Glorybringer and just take 2, and I love that world. Four mana in the pool. Fire Covenant. So I can make a 4/4 here. They're going to put a troll into play. That's so bad for me. I could also just dig for... What happens if I dig for force? Not much, honestly. Let's do it anyways. Let's dig for force. Find me Force of Will, please. Not Force of Will. Lovely. So now I... this is so bad. Alright, that's fine. I could do some like LED shenanigans, like Lightning Bolt, and then use LED to untap the 1/1, make a 4/4, but I still go to 2. Okay, they didn't feel like putting a troll into play to basically guarantee win next turn. So now they're going to equip here, take me to 1. Yep, looks like this is going to be a 3/3. Which, after starting off 3-0, you know, is kind of a feels bad. But, I mean, this deck is built around upheaval. So that's kind of the only thing it's really doing to gain advantage. And these last 3 games, we haven't been able to upheaval, where the first 3 games, you know, we were doing the upheaval stuff. So, all right, Expressive Iteration. The bounce artifact. Oh, that does it too. So hand, library, exile, play the island, pass turn. They're going to make a treasure. Yep. Let's make this a 0-3. I love fresh start. I mean, just animate dead the troll. Come on. Animate dead the troll, buy Lutri. Win target game. There they go. Okay. Yep, that happens. Luckily, I have Trinket Mage for Aether Spell Bomb. I need to sack this LED, but yep. And they have end of turn Lutri, but I can block that with Trinket Mage. Mountain. Yep, Aether Spell Bomb. Like we talked about. Not dead yet. Oh no, the Glorybringer exerts. But I can retrofit her off LED, so it's not the end of the world. Oh no, it has no ability. It can't exert. I'm an idiot. Alright, there we go. Yep. And then of course they can just cast troll post attacks. But let's make them attack. Let's see what they commit to. Okay, I do like moving the Skull Clamp to the Lutri. For what it's worth. Why is this making me want to do that? That seems terrible. Let's sack this for blue. Let's make a servo, because I think I'd rather do that. So, I hate that this says 3, so I have to bounce this here, because I would love to bounce Lutri so they don't draw, but it is what it is. Go here. I can't afford to untap. Skull Clamp draws you 2 cards. I assume they're going to replay Troll. They could cycle Troll. Okay, yeah, I like this. Since they have another threat, now they can cycle Troll end of turn, and Currency Converter turns it into a 2/2. Which is nice, because they've already done that to us once. Nice for them, I should say. 3 mana for an NT. Okay. And now they can equip probably the NT, I would imagine. That makes sense. And they still have Cycle Troll end of turn. Does Upheaval get us out of this? No. We are 1 mana short from Upheaval. And we drew a mountain anyways. What's the 16 mana Scion or Draco, maybe whatever? Maybe they'll hit that off of their Dark Confidant. That's in the cube, right? Yep. The sad part is, in these last couple of losses, like, our opponents aren't even doing like super powerful things. Like, Currency Converter is doing a lot of work this game, I'll admit. Super Shredder, okay. But honestly, just the amount of like medium decks we've gone up against. Our opponent last turn, you know, just their 3rd discard spell is just kind of what did it. But even then, if I just Upheavaled, I think we would have gotten it. So, yep, that's gonna give trample to probably the NT, I would imagine, because it's the biggest creature. No? Okay. I can make one. I didn't do the math here. Okay, yeah, I can't make more than... I'll just do the Ancient Tomb dance. Well, that was a fun league, if you will. Funnily enough, I think this, actually, I don't think I know. This is the worst one I've had so far this season. I've drafted a bunch on my phone, and I believe the lowest I've done so far is 6 wins. So my first 3-3 of the season. It's to be expected, especially with a pile like this. Basically, the games that we have Upheaval Tolarian Academy, I suspect that that's going to be enough to win a lot of games. And the games that we don't, our deck doesn't really do much. Until they Fractured Identity our Retrofitter Foundry, our Tezzeret could have taken over that other game, but it is what it is. I do like this shell. We're just missing like 2 or 3 cards to make this go from pretty medium to pretty excellent. I'm glad I got the red fixing that I did, because the Expressive Iteration is just a really powerful card to play. Lightning Bolt is nothing to scoff at either, but our biggest things are just, Upheaval, Tolarian Academy, Kappa. We got to see Kappa do a lot of work. This was definitely a must-answer card in a couple different games. I absolutely just love Kappa Cannoneer in general, but also in Cube. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out some of these others you might also enjoy. I alternate between playing vintage and powered cubes both on MTGO and MTG Arena. If you like cubing on Arena, but it's too expensive to play as often as you'd like, check out some of my personal MTG Arena cube videos on this channel. If you like it, join us sometime for a draft. We'd love to have you. If I don't see you in Discord first, I'll catch you in my next video.